All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Quick sound check. Should be good. Awesome. What's up, Dylan, EP, Lee and Lorna, and Tommy? Drew, good to see everybody. But I want to start a quick minute here just before, guys, just so we can be ready together for FOMC. So just like that, get ready. We're about to get the numbers. Should be a non-event. Let's just wait and see. And then we'll talk a little bit more about, what happened while we were gone. So what I'm watching here, guys, is something called TweetDeck. This has all of my tweets kind of, filter into one feed. So when it pops up, I'll show the FOMC data. And it's really easy to understand it just through the reaction of the market. So let's just wait and see, Should be a non-event, guys. Like Lorna and Lee have been saying, this is just the release, not the actual, statement or the speech afterwards. Typically, Powell speaks after, which is why it's a big event, but not today. So again, this might be a non-event. Right now, it's looking like it. Just waiting to see the numbers, or not the numbers, more so the releasement. And then we'll dig in a little more. Hey, Terry, thank you. Likewise. And yeah, AP, I'm actually glad he's not speaking. All right, we just got it here, guys. So obviously we're not going to take the time to read through this entire thing, but this is the actual releasement itself from the Fed. And yeah, we're definitely not going to read this together. So we'll see if anyone else reads it, gives us updates, and we will watch the overall market here, because that's what is most important. And I can share that with you, team, if you do want to read it. All right, let's take a look around at the reaction. Tom, big pop in gold. Let's just take a quick peek. Yeah, not bad, little spike. Let's take a look at banks. Just look around real quick. Spike in XLF. Honestly, guys, pretty much a non-event here. Heather mentioned Tick. Let's take a quick peek at Tick. And yeah, kind of a bait team. So that was it. Congrats. We all survived FOMC. But rule of thumb, team, is when Powell speaks, it's much more, of a catalyst. But I'm glad we got through it. All right, team. So let's start to just flip around, look at a few things, talk about what we might have missed while we were gone, and we'll go from there. First thing I want to talk about is AMD. They had really, really good news. I posted it. You should have saw it if you follow those Twitter accounts. But they started a buyback program, which is generally very bullish. So you can see here, guys, AMD just absolutely exploded. Did a little bit of marking up charts. This 75.77, that was yesterday's high of day. So if we just go back, you'll see, guys, that's yesterday's high of day. On this break, we broke it, retested it, and ran up to another big key level here on the daily chart. Just very quickly, guys, ran and drew a zone. So we can watch this one here for the second half. Anytime a name pops super hard on news, I usually like to let it, trickle back down, kind of find its feet, to then see if there's a move, secondary. So you're gonna watch AMD here, guys, the rest of the session, just to see, can it get back through this cloud, start to pick up some volume. We'll keep an eye on it. Right, Tom? We didn't play that. Happened very fast. Had the news quickly, but it was just gone. I wasn't quite sitting at the desk, unfortunately. But we're definitely going to watch it here. If we take a look at Roku, guys, they've pretty much done absolutely nothing. Right? We tried to play, I think it was this cloud bounce here, and we get out at a very nice point and right back down to point of control. Nice bounce, pretty much going nowhere. So I think, guys, for the second half, I'm going to take Roku off of the list. However, I'm going to set an alert here above. And we'll set an alert as well at point of control, just to keep an eye on it, but really not in play here. I think what I want to do is switch to NVIDIA for now. And oh, hold on. All right, guys, so now we got some blips we can read. All right, hold on, team, I'm sorry. sometimes it's worth reading before we attack. Market participants appear to concentrate momentum towards economic reopening as well as constructive monetary and fiscal policy. Will be some time before substantial progress. All right, guys, we're just going to end it there. I'll read these on the side, but let's start to be careful diving into anything here. Usually it could be algos, but let's start to size up SPX real quick. Keep an eye on internals. All right, so SPX team, 4060s look like a really nice put here. Just going to start to look at these real quick, and obviously we're a little slow to this one, so be careful. This went from 50 cents to $1.55 on that algo pop. And that, my friends, is why we pay attention to FOMC. You know, Powell didn't speak, but once it comes out and they read it, there can be a word that triggers something, and I guess they just found it. Oh, man. Careful, guys. Don't chase. SPX is erupting. These premiums are explosive. Let's see if we can get a little pop or something, but that definitely just changed the environment. We'll keep it on this 5-minute cloud here. NQ also right at theirs. Oh, man. Dark pool, the committee seeks to achieve maximum employment and inflation at the rate of 2% over the long run. With inflation running persistently below its long-term run goal, the committee will aim to achieve inflation moderately above 2%. Uh-oh, they said the inflation word. Again, guys, be careful rushing into anything here. You know, these could be knee-jerk reactions. We don't want to buy premium. You know, so for example, those spiked to almost $3. Now they're back down to $1.30. Oh, they said taper. Uh-oh. We'll see, team. Stay focused here. Control our emotions. Let's see what happens at VWAP in the 50. Also at this 5-minute cloud. The taper tantrum. It's happening. Uh-oh. So just an FYI, guys, if we do trade here, it's going to be very volatile and it's going to move very fast. So make sure you don't do anything that can hurt yourself. What I mean by that is just sizing inappropriately. So we're going to remain a little bit patient here, but if we do start to dump again, just understand it's going to be very volatile. Doesn't mean you can't trade it, just to set expectations. So again, I'll be watching the 40-60 puts here. See if we can get that 8 test, or if we just stay here and consolidate, team. Again, I want to pay attention to these inflection points we just hit. And be careful, my Thinkorswim's starting to lag because of the activity, so just be careful. Getting a little H here. Oh man, I'm lagging bad. Hold on, guys. All right, we should be good. SPX 4050 put has a lot more volume. Yeah, I mean, it does. You're right. Let's see, guys, really all about tick here. Like we kind of talked about earlier, we get the big drop and we pop back to 0. Let's see if we head back down to the zone or if we pop to 0. Learner, I'd actually move towards the 4060s because they spiked a lot here. So if we do pop, the 4050s are just going to go to, worthless quicker. So I like to move a little closer to in the money the second half of the session. But if we dump here, they're both going to work. So. Karen, great call. TNX popped and not pulling back. Yeah, we'll see what pops here, guys. Definitely keep an eye on chips. They were the strongest for a minute after that news, and we'll see here. We want a volatility, we got volatility. But even in the midst of news, guys, we still respect, inflection points. And that team is why we don't chase. These 40-60 puts went from 50 cents to almost $3, back down to $1 here. So we might be able to get a better entry. Hoping Thinkorswim can hold up this volatility. And no rush short team. This could just be a really good dip buy. Watching this 8 closely. Emmanuel, still waiting, my friend. Still waiting. Watching the 8 closely here, see if we kind of roll over. Watch this little uptrend team as well. See if we can kind of flush this. Really want to pay attention to tick here. Let's see, team tick in. Some tough levels here. This looks like a decent start to a flush. It's not really moving though. Watching the 40-60 puts here. Just trying to get filled, guys, on the 40-60 puts and having trouble. My toss is not cooperating the best here. Would risk back above if you got filled. Oh, my Thinkorswim is killing me right now. Hold on, guys. I got to close some windows. I apologize. Okay. That actually helped. Let's see here, guys. We got to watch tick closely. ADD still flushing. Got that nice little retest of the 8, little break. Keep these trades tight. These options are going to move very fast. Tried to get filled there, guys, at 1.5, so I'm still not filled, so I'm probably going to hold off here. If you did get filled, I'll help you manage the trade. You can use the 8 as a stop or right above this little base. Keep watching internals here closely. And this inflection point. I'm going to keep watching for a secondary entry. Careful, guys. We're right at this point. It's going to be a big inflection. We got NVIDIA starting to head down. We got ADD. See if it flushes first. It's holding here. Careful with tick to 0. Let's see, other names, not doing much, but again, guys, keep this tight. This is very volatile scalping, most volatile scalping we've done. Trying to, catch news. Gerald have 40.87.2 as a key level. Again, team, be careful short here. I did miss my fill, so I'm not currently in this one. Can continue to respect the 8, but just understand premiums are going to rock around a bit. Let's see, Tick struggling at 0, ADD trying to base here. It's still kind of all about this 8. Remember, guys, that 8 could kind of keep you, in the trade with your, tightest stop being that 8. And nice, Tick hitting that 0, right back to that flush zone. Good patience if you can get shaken out there. Keep respecting that 8. Nice, there you go, team. Good stuff. Watch this 4081. Nice spike in those options. There's the ADD flush, there's the tick. Be careful, guys. We got ES right at 5-minute cloud and NQ. If we break through these, we can have a continued nice drop. Make sure you get your piece in volatility. Oh, man. So you get that fill, guys. Should be up about almost 50 cents. Again, they're moving very volatile, so. Yeah, AP, me too. Taos is being tough right now, unfortunately. Tasty's solid AP. I just don't really like you have to like go and click and replace your order if you don't get filled. It takes a long time if you're trying to trade fast and Tasty, but they do have good fills. The next platform I'm going to be trying is Interactive Brokers. I'm going to try their execution while staying, keeping everything on my charts on Toss. I have nothing wrong with the charts. It's just the execution stalls sometimes, like right now. Yeah, Lorna, you know what I'm talking about if you use Tasty. It's kind of that, go cancel, replace order. That can kind of be a pain in the butt. So ADD is still flushing here. We got Tick still kind of just screaming. Got a little downtrend to focus on for Tick. Keep it tight, guys. We're at some big key levels. So if you did catch that flush, don't sit through it too long. Market's been a little stubborn here. Can wait for a clearer leg. AP TradeStation is another good one. I think it's owned by the same people as Interactive Brokers. I might be wrong. Nice. Looks like you guys are getting at SPX. A little smaller gains, but good stuff. Definitely a tougher one depending where you got filled. But good job, Ryan. Just Steven. Good stuff. Keep rejecting that 8, just kind of reluctant to flush. We're at such big inflection points. After a drop, we could maybe utilize a little pop and then flush to these key levels. Gonna be an interesting 2 hours, that's for sure. I don't have it charted, guys, on my chart, but if you take a look at Tesla on a 5-minute chart or whatever, you'll see it uptrending from open. And it looks like it's about to break that uptrend. And that could just help accelerate the market or even be a little trade in itself, but just something to keep an eye on. I just noticed. I'll show you guys real quick. That's what I'm talking about. We hold here, we hold here, we hold here, we're right at it here. Just a nice level to watch. Nice, Beachy. Snow on the radars become a daily trade twice today. Awesome. Congrats. Snow's an interesting one, to say the least. Nice, G. Good luck, Emmanuel. Good luck as well. Not the biggest move, guys. We tried. Just got to follow your rules. Good stuff. So we'll see what happens. We'll be picky here because, again, these are good key levels. Not sure if it's a buyable dip or if we just let it grind higher to fade. We'll see. That was a pretty good reaction on the Fed. But usually if it's real, we see at least another leg right away. That's why it was at least worth taking a shot. But with real news, we drop, we pop, and we drop again. Where this time, we're kind of reluctant to drop. And there it is. And again, trying to teach you guys how to kind of combine internals here. You'll see, it starts to actually trend up now, and then boom, it pops. Just kind of a little pattern recognition of if things are trending down or trending up. Wow, big pop. Beachy used to be Netflix. That's funny. Netflix is a tougher daily trade. That's cool. You've kind of conquered it. So Emmanuel, FOMC dropped at top of the hour here. So if we look here, team, it dropped. And just like us, everyone actually has to read through it. So I doubt they read through it or algos read through it. Probably algos because it happens very quick. And they essentially found a few words that, triggered a sell-off. Like I'm looking at one of my tweets right now, and it's showing you the FOMC and like a little highlighted part that could have dictated it. So, we could glance through here real quick to read some of the blips. You can ignore Zero Hedge. He's kind of satire. But the names I share with you guys, Live Squawk, First Squawk, those will have the summary of what was said if you do want to flip through that. So yeah, quite the pop there. Hope everyone's okay and take too much damage or damage at all. Alrighty, back to the races, I guess. What a pop. That's why that was an interesting lesson, guys. We had volatility, we had an extreme drop. Is it worth a little shot? Yes, but end of day, like we said, we had to respect these inflection points. So little trade, but turned out to be a quick reversal, right? Like it never happened. Tick high of day. Wow. This is a crazy candle. And Q right to HOD. All right. Yeah, right now the short squeeze. Still like AMD here, guys. I'm just breaking that cloud. Obviously not going to chase this little pop off the bottom, but if we do settle and keep going, this could be a nice little reset for the market. We get point of control above for both ES and NQ. Haven't checked them today, see if it changed, but it was in this vicinity. So that could be our next target here for end of day, if this is a true rally. All right, let's start to, and wow, Tesla bounced right at that trend line I just laid out. So good technical bounce here across the board. Market held and Q held. A lot of names held good levels as well. I forget where this SPX level was from. Okay, remember from this morning, guys, kind of that resistance that then turned to support. We rallied that cloud the entire time until we finally sold off near it. And man, what a pop. So we'll be patient now, team. You know, big drop, big pop. Let's let the market kind of pick its direction now. JP, savage. Bought the dip 6.7, sold at 9.4. Beast. Awesome trade. Quick with it. Lifelong learner. SPX 1 minute chart. The Ichimoku cloud is showing bearish, but SPX is popping. How do you read the cloud here? So I'd give the cloud time, guys. This big drop and big pop kind of makes it look a little weird. So I'd actually give the cloud a little bit of time to settle, and I would focus on this 5 minute here. So this pullback was just a really nice pop. But JP, man, awesome trade. That was epic. Well, this was quite the start to our second half. It's going to let the market settle for now, team. If you actually take a look, you know, on that grind that we had, we reached the top of our key zone here. And then on FOMC, we went to the bottom of our zone, and then went right back to zone top. So as I mentioned, guys, it's good to know what's going on with the market, you know, the catalyst of why we dropped, but inflection points are just so strong. So literally we just stop here, we go here, right back to there. Now we wait and see. Right, Tom? Hope I'm not boring you. Hopefully it's the market, but. So let's see here, guys. We did make a high a day on that for, you know, all markets here. So no levels above. Let's just see if we flag, at least get a healthy pullback. Mad Mike, SPX from 12 to 7.3, 17.3. Oh, man. Tom, me too, man. That's funny. All right, so I'm really, guys, going to let things settle for a bit here before we look to attack. So we'll keep sizing things up, but obviously it looks a little more bullish than bearish if we can get through the zone. Moose. So for NVIDIA, I have the 570s up, team. You know, we've kind of been rallying here all day. So again, not in a rush to play off of high of day. It's just usually not my favorite level to go long. But I do like a break back to this key zone for potential push to point of control, which currently sits at 570. And I'm just going to take a little moment on another chart to confirm these levels. So yep, 570 is still point of control for NVIDIA. For ES, guys, it did step up a little bit. It's actually not 41.46. It's right at this pre-market level from the other day. So we'll just focus on getting back to here for now. And then last one real quick, NQ. Point of control is still the same. So just looking to get back to here. Lorna. I can see Joel rolling around like that. Hydraulics. Let's take a look at tick here real quick. So kind of from one extreme to, you know, the other extreme, right back to zero. So important to see where we go from here. So AMD, gonna start to size up AMD, guys. Look at some contracts here. So I'm thinking oddly enough, the 80 strikes are super cheap. They have a lot of good volume. Also gonna focus on the 78 calls. So just calling some things out here, guys. Nothing to execute on yet. Just something to start to get ready for. Tom. Definitely quite the difference in contracts. So nice reversal here, guys. At the 8, we got back above this little funky cloud that got created because of a big drop, big pop. So we'll just see if we hold. We got NQ steady here. Trying to find some ideal trades for us right now. NVIDIA's not bad, but just ideally don't want to chase these highs. Let me know if you guys see anything on your radar. Paul, watching the 78 calls and the 80 calls on AMD. 80 calls are a little cheap, but if it gets exploding, they'll go up a lot in value. So I'll probably just stick with the 78s for now. Great volume. They're about 50 cents. AMD is one of those names that doesn't move the best. So another reason I'm not going to force it here on it, but I do like the news. This is just a random prediction, but if we get a nice little base cloud forming here, if we could get a pullback towards it, and then that push to point of control, that'd be a nice thesis, slowly but surely. Tom, Beyond was on my watch list, and that's one of the few that I actually got the axe. They're off of the watch list. They're on the do not touch, kind of like LRCX for Lorna. Gene, what do you mean 578 on what, my friend? Uh, 578 calls? I don't know if that's a strike. Yeah, that's not a strike, Gene. I would focus on, I have the 570s pulled up. So generally, guys, strikes will go by probably every 5 points, depending on the name you trade. You know, some names go by more, some names go by every buck. Just a little something there. All right, let's just flip through a few here, guys. Let me just get a. Actually, no, I'll stick in this chart, but I do want to flip through a few names. So Roku again, just kind of in the middle of nowhere. Tom, I'm just gonna ignore Dash because I wasn't prepared for it. You know, I have no levels, no nothing. Tesla still just grinding higher here, team. Right, they kind of held that trend line, and not too much going on with Tesla. Probably ignore them. Let's see. Again, I didn't have too much on my focus list today total, so I don't want to just pull some things out of the air. But we'll take a look through the board. Shopify having a day. Everything looks the same, to be honest. Just kind of everything gap down and a slow, choppy grind. And another little lesson, guys, they might not seem like lessons, but, you know, I'm going to repeat myself. Never usually buy high a day. It's something I did a lot when I started first trading. You know, of course, the dumb rookie, it's like, oh, I can just buy the highest point. It'll keep going. That's usually the point, guys, where it, you know, pulls back is what I've learned, right? Buy low, sell high. So that's why, you know, especially at a zone, I want to be a bit careful chasing that pop. So again, big drop, big pop. Let's kind of let the market find its feet here, and we'll see how the last hour and a half goes. Doctor, I know you don't rely on scans very much. How do you decide which tickers are worthy of making your list? Are there specific markers you look for? Great question. So just to give you like a basis, I really focus on, obviously, big cap names. I don't really focus on small caps. Obviously, I don't focus on, penny stocks or anything like that. So I do focus on the bigger stocks. So, you could call them high beta. They move with the market, etc. And I like to cover, the bigger industries, my opinion. So the bigger industries I like to focus on are, technology, communications, and, semiconductors. So that covers everything from, FANG to the chips to Roku, Square. That's kind of where my world revolves around. And another tip is I like to have a decent ATR. So anything at least above, $5-6. Anything like an AMD where, let me just see what AMD's ATR is real quick before I crap on it. Yeah, like 2.7. I don't play it much. Like I honestly haven't had AMD up on my chart in months. It's only on it because of that news. So I hope that helps, Doctor. Just kind of, finding the, hotter names right now, the bigger names and, the most popular sectors. And then also making sure they have liquid options. Some names, they have monthly expirations. So there's no, reason for me to be trading those. Some names, they have weekly options, but nobody trades them. That's not a name I'm going to trade. So on my focus list, I've really narrowed it down to names that can move a lot, move with the market, have great options, offer good risk reward, I'm comfortable with, et cetera, et cetera. I hope that helps. Audrey, do I look at float rotation? I do not. The light blue bar on a volume chart, that is a doji. So if you guys look, we'll occasionally have a doji. So the volume, it kind of was, just like the stock. Heather, great question. Absolutely. Yep. Just give me a little bit, Heather. Just want to see what happens here. This will pull back to the mean. Still really not seeing anything set up here, guys. So I'll just keep answering questions. But Heather, I like this one. Can you explain what you see in after hours trading that will make you move a stock from your watch list to your focus list? Love that. Absolutely, Heather. So if you guys remember the other day, I forget what session it was. If you're with me now, you're obviously with me for the first two. The thing that we talked about was relative strength. And that's something that you will notice pre-market. So give me a second. I'll actually be able to find what I was talking about here. And I think it was Monday. Yeah, it was definitely Monday because I was complaining about the premiums on Amazon. But if you guys remember, we had that drawing set here. Where was it? Huh, did I delete it? I think I deleted it actually, unfortunately. Yeah, I did delete it. All right, shame on me. But anyway, the point still remains here. So this is what I'm looking for, Heather, to give you a little glimpse of something, is you want to focus one on relative strength, where some days and some names, they will have, a really strong pre-market. And that will tell you a lot about what's going to happen. And the reason this can happen is because a lot of big institutions and firms will actually start to accumulate the stock pre-market. So again, this kind of shows you what are they kind of dipping their toes in to start the day. Because if they do that, they usually do it, when the bell rings. So again, for example here, guys, and I won't take too long because the market is flushing here. The other day, remember, NQ was, I don't know if it was red, I think it was red actually. And Amazon was the only name in tech set to gap up. And then right at open just absolutely exploded to the zone that we had. Now, again, I did delete the zone, but if you guys remember, we were watching that zone to zone and it just happened so quick. So I hope that helps, Heather. It's one of those things where a name can either be, a sore thumb and be strong, or kind of a sore thumb and stick out and be weak. And I just refer to that as relative strength, above or below. So that's one thing. And you'll also see, with relative strength pre-market, it's going to start to accumulate more volume on it. And that shows you again that the eyes are on it today. So that's kind of the main thing I look at for pre-market. And I also look, Heather, to see, pre-market, are we moving near any, huge inflection points? So for some reason, pre-market, we gap above a key level or, right towards one. It's also another reason where I might now put it on my focus list. But it's really all about relative strength. Long-winded answer. Emmanuel, also you have continuous price action, not gap ups or gaps downs without you have many shocks. Yup. Correct, Mike. That's what's going on. So to give you guys another bonus tip here, and I don't do this one often because I like to sleep, but every day the market, the stocks, they reopen at 4 a.m. Right? Most stocks, you'll get that first pre-market print. So you see on Amazon here, we go from 7:55 at night to 4 a.m. If you happen to be awake, sorry, not Amazon, AMD. If you guys happen to be awake at that time, one thing I suggest starting to do is actually go and look at level 2. And the reason you want to look at level 2 is that those big firms and the people that got to move money will actually start to place orders right in the morning that will be gone when you show up. So again, I know that doesn't mean much right now, but if you are up, just start to look guys at level 2 and start to look for any, big orders, whether they're above to go get it or below as support. It's a really little hack if you're awake. I don't use it much because again, I sleep through 4 a.m., but whenever I am up, I do check it. And Anil, I mean on the tape. So remember guys, on tape, we have level 2 and time of sales. So, if you wake up and you're watching, AMD's pre-market open, they'll still be bids and asks kind of setting their risk for the day, right at open. Yeah, Ron, 4 a.m. Eastern. So you'll see certain things. To give you an example, guys, you could wake up and see a huge sell order, 10 points away on a stock, for example. And that's really good information. 1, can we go get it? And then 2, what happens when we get there? Because right at 4, some of those orders get revealed. Just a little trick. So obviously that won't happen with us together, but if you do catch it, shoot me an email. And yeah, Chester, if you're trading futures, certain hours when, the other market's open, you can catch some nice moves overnight. That's kind of my plan moving forward, trading futures. Paul, look at the bid-ask spread on Roku and NVIDIA. For example, couple with active trader, buy at the ask, sell at the bid. I'll admit to concern about how much an actual move is simple in order to get the slippage amount between current ask and future bid as the bid moves up. Is this a driving reason you look at ATR for high ATR symbols? Yeah, Paul. So again, when you trade a stock, we want to make sure that we actually have true upside. So, the way options work, the way delta works is it's per point. So I like to have these names that can actually run. That's why Google is one of my favorite names towards the end of the week because it has such a big ATR and we can take advantage of those options. So I hope that helps answer, Paul. Paul, join the bid. No, join the bid doesn't work unless the stock is falling. But yeah, buy the ask is a good one. As long as the spread is tight. So real quick, guys, I saved a question from Michael in the chat. So Michael, if you're listening to this replay, my friend, this is your question. I wanted to promise that I answered this one. So Michael asked, I'm not able to attend the live most of the day, so I'll leave a few questions. 1, how long do you take to prep for your plays each night? Do you do a different process over the weekend than the weekday? So I shared a little bit of this, and not a little bit, a good amount in the class team. So make sure you go back and listen to kind of my prep process. But I spend probably, at least an hour at night, kind of, flipping through the names that are in play, kind of just seeing, what happened for today, updating my levels, et cetera, et cetera. And then, the next day, so that morning, I'll kind of update my plan. So most of the prep work goes into the weekend where you're kind of laying out, the biggest key levels in play, kind of like I drew this entire ES zone this week. And now I come in and kind of tweak it every day. So the prep goes in during the weekend, kind of building your bigger picture thesis, planning for above and below, a few ATRs, and then on a day-to-day process, kind of just, fine tuning with the information you have. And real quick, guys, before I keep answering, get a little more to that question. Just keep an eye on this 5-minute cloud. This is just kind of messy. Then he also asked, I realize I have a bullish bias and working with FOMO, FUD, and the roller coaster of emotions has been the thing holding me back. What's made the biggest difference for you, or what book or resource would you help me work through this aspect of the game? It's an awesome question, guys, and I'll try to, I don't want to speed through this one, but the biggest thing there, team, is understand we're humans, right? Only Lorna in here is a robot, so this doesn't apply to her. But we're humans, guys, so we do have emotions, and you're not ever going to be able to 100% control your emotions. You're always going to have a little bit of FOMO. You're always going to have a little bit of a bias. That's just how we literally operate. One of the harder things about the stock market is the way that we're wired is actually kind of something that'll make us not do well in trading, right? Having an innate bias, being greedy, not wanting to be wrong. That's all things that, truly are built into humans. And so trading is the complete opposite. So where I'm going with this, guys, is understand that we're all going to have those emotions. Myself, I have it. I'm sure even someone at, JC's level. I won't speak for him, but I know he's a human. We also have these emotions. My best advice is just on a day-to-day basis, pull yourself back and follow your game plan. Right, guys, we create rules and we create plans in a system for a reason. And the best way to kind of keep that top of mind is to just reinforce it every single day. So again, emotions are going to take over. Maybe it's, in the morning, maybe it's halfway through the session. But if you can kind of just step back, reinforce the things that matter, that's how you kind of get a grip on your emotions. And it gets easier over time, guys. And you can do a few things in between to kind of help yourself where, if you're anxious or if you're, greedy or, FOMO, size down, trade small, and really just have fun with the game until you slowly start to master those, master yourself, so to speak. So I hope that helps, guys. But again, never feel bad for having emotions. You're going to have them. You're just going to get better at controlling them. Mike, I don't want to be wrong about being greedy. I don't be wrong about missing out or anything. But that's the honest truth, team, is, the emotions aren't going anywhere. Just slowly learn how to control them. And to summarize and finish this question, guys, one of the best books that I've listened to, so it's an audio book. It's called The Daily Trading Coach by Dr. Brett Steenbarger. This is an amazing book that actually helps you become your own trading coach. And the overall goal for all of us is to be able to step outside of ourselves. So while I'm trading here, I'm Chan, but there needs to be, a mental person, my coach, that also asks myself, like, all right, Chan, are you doing what you should be doing? Are emotions taking over? And again, that's just reiterating your rules and your system. So I recommend checking that book out, guys. And let me just pull it up real quick just to show you. So right here, guys, this is one of my favorite books, and it is just an audio book. I think you can get the Kindle. And this is 101 Lessons for Becoming Your Own Trading Psychologist. This book is just phenomenal. You never know what lesson's going to hit you. So go through it, find the lessons, and then write them down. And this is what I mean by kind of bringing yourself back to earth. So got to be your own coach, guys. That's the only way. Tommy, do I use keyboard shortcuts? I do not, actually. I know it's available. I haven't done it yet. I'm more of a mouse trader than a keyboard trader. I'm a keyboard warrior. And yeah, Lee, I know you can set a few for active trader, but I've always been fearful if I have 2 active traders up, which one it's going to do it on. So I personally never messed with hotkeys. Yeah, Stefan, that's it. The one you posted from Amazon. Lorna uses hotkeys. It's the only way. So yeah, personally, Tommy, I don't use it. Lorna uses it. There's no wrong answer. I just personally quicker with the mouse. We don't want to go against the robot here. But all right, team, let's talk a little bit trading here. Just like I, kind of wanted, we get the drop, we get the pop, and I want the market to kind of settle. So nice little drift here back down to 5-minute cloud. We'll see if we get another ramp, or do we kind of break down here and start to heat up the last hour? Kind of an uneventful first hour because, the algos. So we'll really see what they want to do here the rest of the session. I do like NVIDIA, starting to base on our key level, see if they can start to ramp off of it and head back to that, top of our zone. Just kind of going zone to zone to zone. Don't want to abuse this zone. It's kind of been above it all day, but just a level to focus on here. AMD looks like it's not going to be worth our time. Huge pop of news and just hasn't even caught in a bid. So I'm going to ignore that one for now. What's that, Algo? JC's ADHD music playlist. Mark, that's awesome, my friend. A lot of people have no clue about SPX 0 days, and I'm trying to, put it on the map. Not in a huge way. I don't want everyone to know, but I want the simpler team to know. So now that you know the secret, run with it. Nice, Mike. I like loading up options. An active trader helps to grab money and get out quickly. Yep, no better tool. Add 10x bars and squeeze to add momentum pointers. Nice, man. Way to combine a few systems. That's great. So we'll see, guys. A lot of these options aren't the best right now. Look at these NVIDIA 570s, and the spread is huge. But it's also not ready to trade, so keep looking around here. All about these inflection points here, team. It's a really nice 5-minute cloud. Just like you learned in the class, when everything lines up nicely, let's wait and see what happens here. JFA's Neil's trend bars, they were great for day trading. Nice, I'm not sure what those are, but assuming it's a great tool. Is it like Heikin-Ashi candles? If you know what those are. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I actually had to close out my tape because of toss lagging, but I want to pull it up here to watch a video. Yep, printing, absolutely. So SPX 0 days, guys, are 3 times a week. Every week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you get same day expires on SPX. So again, I call them 0 days, meaning 0%, 0 days till they expire. Where every other name in the market, their options expire on a Friday. So Monday they're expensive, Tuesday everything's getting slowly but surely cheaper. where Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you get to take advantage of those 0 days. And the reason I like them, just printing, is because they're cheap and they're extremely volatile. So it looks like you had the aha moment. It's a big blessing, my friend. Get comfortable with them because there's just no better risk reward in the market, and it's available 3 times a week. To me, it just don't get better than that. Nvidia doesn't look bad, guys. I don't want to give you guys D plus trades right now. I don't want just trade to trade, but I do like this potential turnaround here. Gotcha, Jeff. Yeah, I know Neil works at Simpler, but cool. Sorry, that's what I thought. Jeff cut 100% SPX. Nice. And yeah, if you try to one day expire, it's not worth it in my opinion at all. You're overpaying, and they don't move that much. You have to really catch a move. So the power of Monday, Wednesday, Friday is the ability to allocate, less capital and make more money. Where on Thursday and Tuesday, I kind of just ignore SPX. It's just not worth the capital allocation. Yes, AP, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to trade it. Sylvia, do you buy SPX 0-day options at the money or in the money generally? Sylvia, actually slightly OTM. And yes, Chris, you should have the link to the Twitter list I follow. And towards the end of the session, guys, I'm going to quickly show you how to set up a tool called TweetDeck. But I'm going to save that for the end here. Really nice hold at key level. Wow. Market's still just kind of trying to base our inflection points. Let's wait and see here, team. Kind of just sizing up NVIDIA, not really seeing much else. Algo's frozen. They're on lunch break. They had their little taper tantrum, and now they're on timeout. Paul, how do you get the doji to change the volume bar to blue? I actually don't know because I didn't do that. I didn't change that setting. I think it's standard. All right, here comes NVIDIA team. Might be a decent little scalp here. And again, these are smaller trades, guys. So, all right, bye-bye. Man, sometimes you get left in the dust, team. You look away for 2 seconds. Chris, I love that. Congrats, man. Good stuff. Gerald, thank you, man. I will check that out. I'm excited to see what you guys are talking about. Appreciate it. And all right, getting a little crazier for NVIDIA, guys. Just gonna leave it alone for a minute. Yeah, Ron, potentially top of the hour algos. Good call there. Chris, if you sell spreads most of the time, you're gonna absolutely love how this complements that strategy. Because as you know, with spreads, sometimes you just need to go sideways, not even into your direction, but you could be scalping that whole time. I love it. That's kind of my ultimate goal moving forward. As I dabbled around for a year, trading spreads with my day trading, and then I just decided to continue focusing on day trading. But I am going to bring that back. Where if I'm bullish, I want to sell a put credit spread and then just scalp the entire time around it. That's kind of my ultimate goal. And then at night, trade futures and just have no life. I don't want any other way. All right, let's get rid of AMD, guys. We can chop this one up. It's literally been on my ignore list for months. Roku still just middle of nowhere. We can start to look at SPX team, but like I mentioned, the last hour, it does get a little dangerous, but dangerous is only if you size too hard. So what I mean by dangerous is, the options are going to move a lot. So not my top option here into end of day, but if we do flush, no problem playing some, cheap puts here end of day. So just to size some up here, team, just in case we flush hard to this cloud, same time. So just kind of show you guys my thought process, looking at, what's possible here. We could easily drop back down towards, 40.60-ish, 40.70 if the market flushes. So anything, 40.60 to 40.70 is solid. I like doing the cheaper side, guys, because these are all going to go to zero fairly quickly if they don't work. So we don't want to overpay the last hour. So I'll probably go with 40.60s just for now. Printing, doing the real word, haven't had a life for years. Yeah, I mean, I've had an amazing life, but I've definitely spent a lot of my young manhood at a desk looking at these beautiful bars, and I have no regrets. To be honest, I have nothing else to do outside of this, so we just keep trading. Emmanuel, how about an Iron Condor for SPX? I'm just not going to venture down there, my friend. Just because, I'm not going to do spreads here, but. Big amen, Tom. I'm looking forward to that. So we'll hide NVIDIA tape for now, team. Let's get internals up on the radar. So we'll be careful here, this little level. But we are starting to slip through the 5-minute clouds here, both NQ and ES same time. Tom, are you familiar with Victory Park? Just a quick Dallas to Dallas question. Yeah, that's the area I love. And okay, yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That Hooters, House of Blues, everything's right there. American Airlines. That's where I'll be fairly soon. All right, guys, happy power hour. Let's close our session out strong. We'll look for some trades. I'll answer any questions you guys might have, and just try to provide as much value as possible here, last hour. Yeah, Chris, since we kind of, broke this range, we've held it really nicely. We've dealt with a very choppy hour here. So again, guys, we got to let these trades come to us. It's never good to force crap. So again, I'm pretty good at seeing trades set up. So right now, I'm not seeing too much. but that can change in 5 minutes. So we got an hour. Printing. EIEL 11. We'll have time for TweetDeck. And yeah, Don, you can drag symbols, you can link them. That's funny. 20 years to learn it. Better now than never. Dominic, could you show us an example of an A+ setup based on the EMAs and cloud? My technical analysis, flags, etc., is not quite strong to quickly recognize them forming live. Also, do you have a preferred time for those? Yeah, Dominic. So most of the time I'm watching, 1 minute and 5 minute chart to look for those patterns. And, just to give you an example of a perfect trade would be something like, this, for example, where we kind of talked about this one earlier. We have your moving averages and you have your cloud. So, we get that shift above it and then we hold the cloud and we get back to kind of grinding those moving averages and then we lose them, but then we hold the cloud again. And then we're back to, grinding these moving averages. So within here is a few trades. And again, I recommend going back in the class. There's a lot of examples of kind of just showing what perfection should look like. You're never going to get perfect, but if you know how to use all these tools, there are a lot of, great trades throughout the day. And that's why, like right now, you can see just how messy it looks, team, compared to, we had some fluent price action, had some good key levels, et cetera, et cetera. And Don, don't feel bad about just finding that after 20 years. I'm still finding stuff, and I spend all day on this platform. And yep, I'll show you TweetDeck, guys. Don't worry. Just gonna, save that for the end. Don't want to, miss anything here setting that up. It doesn't take long. Nope, I haven't explained it yet. So I will in a little bit. You haven't missed it. It's a quick but powerful little tutorial. So again, guys, we're kind of, just holding this inflection point here. Chris, don't be sorry, man. So we're trying to rally here again, team. We kind of just we're kind of just stuck in the middle. So a little more patience here. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore AMD. We'll keep an eye on this 5-minute cloud though. Stretch. I've never used E-Trade. Not sure how it is. I know it's not, one of the top platforms. So definitely maybe consider, a switch. In my opinion, I think the top three are, Thinkorswim, TradeStation, and probably Interactive Brokers, with Tasty being, very close in the third. You're just not going to get charts on Tasty or anything like that. And I'll share my experience with Interactive Brokers once I have it. If I like it better than toss, I'll definitely let you guys know. Excuse me. You guys can see I actually still have my Tasty. I haven't logged in a while. I don't think I have any money in there, but that was what I used before. And the only thing I got sick of was replacing those orders. But other than that, it's an amazing platform. Chop, chop, chop here, team. Unfortunately, it could change, but we're definitely dealing with some chop right now. So I guess real quick, team, just to fill dead air so we don't have to sit in silence. I'll talk a little bit about TweetDeck while obviously keep an eye on the market here in case things change. So I'm just going to talk, guys, while looking at the market, and then I'll pull up TweetDeck. But TweetDeck is a tool where you can kind of organize your Twitter feed in more of a cleaner, simpler way. So I recommend creating a new Twitter account. If you use Twitter and you have a personal Twitter and you follow a bunch of people, I would probably just make a new one because you're going to see those people in your feed if you don't edit it and change it. So again, I recommend guys kind of creating a new Twitter, call it your trading Twitter, whatever you want it to be, and go follow that list that you received. And when you follow that list and you have your Twitter account, then you'll be able to log into TweetDeck. And let me just show you guys what this looks like. So this is what TweetDeck looks like. And to give you guys a glimpse of my other screen looks like is I have TweetDeck kind of sitting in the corner here. So I can just have a stream of news continuing to pile in from the accounts that I care about most. So again, if you just set your Twitter up, this is my basic Twitter, Focus Chan. These are the followers that I follow. What you want to do, guys, is when you go to TweetDeck, it's actually fairly simple. What you want to do is set up, just one of these tabs. So if you add a column, you can actually add a specific user. So say there's one account particularly that you want to just see their tweets, I could add that user, right? So I could have John Carter, for example, where I just see his tweets as a column. What I have right now is called the home column. So what this is going to show me is just all my tweets, from all the accounts that I follow. So that's just going to kind of give me up-to-date news here at every second. So again, guys, it's literally that simple. Is go follow those Twitter accounts, go to TweetDeck, and then kind of just set it up how you would like here. And I really just recommend having your home or a few specific users if you'd like. And then it's just as basic as keeping it at the top, and news will continue to pour in. So hope that makes sense. Any questions, guys, let me know. But very quick lesson. And I guess one more thing to add there. I have TweetDeck on my computer, and I have my phone on with notifications. So typically, guys, I'll get a notification on my phone, and that'll cause me to look at TweetDeck, or I just kind of look over and see it scroll through. All right, let's see here, team. We're getting a little rally off this cloud. Yeah, my pleasure, guys. It is very easy, but consider it literally like a live news feed where they'll just keep coming in. So again, I don't recommend following all your buddies on it because it's just going to be crowded. And you can actually set noise alerts on your computer as well. I just don't do it because I get a lot of them. But great tool. Emmanuel, yeah, I'm watching a video here closely. Kind of messy here, bottom nicely, starting to turn around. So yeah, definitely continue to size this one up a little bit. Hasn't been the easiest move here. But we got AMD kind of popping off the 5-minute cloud. Maybe see some, accumulation here end of day. I really like the last 30 minutes. If we can recognize where big money's going, we could catch a good move here in the close, hopefully, team. I'll try to get one more for you guys. Puma, will the studies used by your system work for 528 or 618 expire also, or they work for the current week expire only? Puma, you could trade technically any contract you'd like. I would just consider the fact that, I like to trade the shortest expiration because of the percent gains that you can unlock. So the system itself, the studies, the indicators, those all work the same. It's just a matter of what option contracts you want to buy. So again, that's kind of the only differentiator. It has nothing to do with the system or the indicators, but where the system is helped is by playing, closer to expire, because you'll make, a better bang for your buck, call it. The only time, guys, I would, and again, this is just my advice, you can do whatever you prefer. The only time I would consider going for next week is towards end of week. But then again, I would consider falling in love with end of week. Right? I love Thursday, Friday. Everything's cheap. Everything can explode. Leo, are you referring to that kid Riley? I know there's a guy on YouTube, Riley, that does a lot of scripts and toss and stuff. Slow stuff, team. Just gonna start looking at a few names, see if there's any patterns that I recognize really fast. Any wedges, any flags, just in case there are a name that we could look at and play. We'll keep a small eye on Tesla, guys. I don't know if they're gonna give this trend line up, but if they do, it could be a nice little bleed. I got that in a side chart here, so I'll keep an eye on that one. As you can see, guys, not many patterns, not really anything. We're kind of just sideways. Let's keep an eye on NVIDIA, see if we flag a little bit here and maybe ramp off this cloud. I know I'm getting repetitive here, guys, but these really are very small trades. Don't expect anything huge, but we can look to take some small scalps here. I try to minimize the smaller trades, but we'll see. You may know, why are spreads so much tighter in AMD compared to Roku and NVIDIA? AMD is just so small, very small premium, so the spread is literally always, right there. They can't really open that spread because then it would be like a 50% change in the spread. So they usually always kind of hover near each other for something like AMD. Where Roku and NVIDIA, it can open up a bit, 30, 50 cents. Where those tighter names like an Apple or an AMD, it's going to be every 1 cent is usually the spread, which can be nice. Snow, man, what a move. Benji, I like that comment, man. Tend to overtrade, so good lesson, only take really good setups and otherwise wait for it. This class has really helped me realize that, and hopefully we'll be able to get better trader moving forward. Absolutely, my friend. I think you'll be good. It's one of those things in life, guys, where oftentimes less is more. The more you play around in this market, the more, it has the chance of kind of getting you back. Where if you just kind of wait for your pitch, you prep hard, you take good trades where you should, there's going to be a handful of them every day. And it's just always hard to kind of force your hand upon the market. Like, oh yeah, we could buy this, but there's no reason for it to run. Dr. H, just got an alert about ALGN. Any good? Is that a line? Personally, not a name I watch, my friend, but we'll take a quick peek at it. Yeah, I'm gonna respectfully ignore this one. I just don't know anything about it. I've never traded it. I don't know the options. This is just definitely not something I want to wiggle my way into here. Benji, right? Sounds like it. And it can be, my friend. Most of the time, guys, I don't trade that much, to be honest. I'm a day trader. I'll sit around a lot, but I'll probably take, 1 to 3 trades a day, if I'm being honest. Sometimes more, but the longer I've gone in my career, I've tried to just really hit those A plus and ignore everything else. Ignore all the little stuff that we've talked about. Get rid of this wedge, kind of ugly in the 1 minute. Don, great question. So I really wouldn't go off a percent basis. I would more so focus on like the actual premium itself. And anytime a name is, and it depends, but whenever it's really spread out, so like NVIDIA right now, look at the 570s. The bid is, 2.8-ish, and the spread's 305. So anytime it gets over, 10 to 15 cents, just be mindful of that. It's always best when the spread tightens. And when the spread tightens, that means that they're actually looking to trade it. So just be mindful, guys, if you're looking to enter things with wide spreads. It's often the most dangerous time to do it. And I think the best way, guys, to calculate it is by just looking at active trader. You'll see the bids completely just go away from the ask, and there's just a huge space. And that's when it becomes just extremely iffy, where spreads tighten when demand tightens. So we want to play when there's demand and momentum. Because again, if you buy NVIDIA here and the spread just, the bid just vanishes, you lose more than you anticipated because you're just taking a little, C plus trade. I hope that makes sense. Fish, using example of the ES 1 minute cloud right now, if it had popped decisively through it, I'm guessing we could have bought it because it's languishing at the top. This is bearish. Take a peek. Yeah, good eye, my friend. So we're kind of grinding the 5 here while trying to break out of the 1 minute. So yeah, while it kind of flags here, it could be a nice little pop for sure. Excuse me, guys. I'm losing my voice a little bit. Yeah, right, Lorna. Talking 4 hours will do that. And we can actually watch SPX here, guys. Pulling up the 4110 calls. It might be a good call out on that 1 minute cloud. Again, last 30 minutes, guys, they are melting ice cubes. This is a new word I'm going to use. Gerald, trust me, man. I'll talk till I truly can't talk. Mario, yes. So referring to point of control, if I'm scalping NQ on 1 minute, should I still use a 30-minute 10-day? Yes, Mario, because that's the gauge that we want to focus on. If you're around it and it's in play, great. If it's not, then just be careful. All right, gonna take a little shot here, guys, at SPX. If I can get filled, trying to get filled on the 4110s and this flag, and of course they don't fill me. Man, trouble today with SPX, guys. And these things just move so fast. Try to get filled there at 1.5. They're already almost 2. Whoever just called that out, great call out. So to answer your question, yes, great trade here. Just kind of pops, space, and then boom. Again, just can't get filled today. In stretch, yeah, great point. If you ever use a trailing stop on an option with a wide spread, you might get a rather unpleasant surprise. Great trade here, team. I hate not getting filled. That'd be 1.5 to almost 3 on this pop. Wow. Dang it. Yeah, I hate looking at I have more canceled orders than filled orders. Tried at 1.5, they quickly spiked to 3. That's why you can't chase either team. You know, end of day, the last 30 minutes, you can catch these big pops, but you just gotta be so fast. Don't let it discourage you. It's just the nature of, you know, what we're trying to do right now. But technically, that was a great, you know, great entry. That's why I just popped hard, tried to buy it and missed it. Froze for you guys too. Gene and Kim. Tom caught it. Let's go, man. Tom, what platform you on? Just curious. Toss? All right. I'm looking for a reason to feel better here. So just to show you guys the option that I'm watching and like what it's doing on a chart and what that little pop, you know, created. Right, so right when that kind of flag pops, it just goes from, you know, I tried to get a $1.05, just rips to 3 here. These things move fast. But that's why they're fun. Nice, Doctor. 172. Boom. Good stuff, guys. Good fills. And yeah, Tom, there's definitely a time and place to hit market. Personally, for me, the last 30 minutes on SPX, I don't like to hit market, but gets you in the trade, that's for sure. Ah, man, that was a good one. So good correlation there, team. We held that 5-minute cloud. We kind of, you know, tried to get that 1 minute. That's kind of that sequence where you can compare the two. And I know I'm using ES and SPX, but that's just how I do it. Mario, my point of control is currently 13,304. Oh, actually, let me go double check. Because it's technically a little higher. Yeah, you nailed it, Mario. To be, you know, exact, it's 13,31157. So yep, you got it. Nice car, quick double. $1.05 to 2.5. Nice, great trade, man. Good stuff. Dark pool, yeah, I'm using another screen right now that has 2 active traders. That's the grid that I gave you guys. That's kind of my main screen where I more so focus on executing than charting. I do have charts on it, but it's kind of like where I execute. So to talk real quick, guys, about what I have 3 monitors going right now. So, you know, one is what you guys are seeing, and this is kind of where I play my focus list. I have my other chart, which is that war grid that I've shared, which does have a few charts, but it's more of, you know, the active trader settings where I have 2 active traders and then 2 charts next to it. And then on my other screen team, I have, and hold on one second. Nice little pullback. If I do trade SPX, guys, I'm going to switch to the 4115s. And yeah, I'm just too slow right now, guys. Getting old. But again, guys, you know the system. We pop, we hold the 8, boom. What those 10s go to? 3.6, jeez. So again, guys, this is why I love SPX. If I got filled, I hate to talk about ifs, but that's at 1.5. Right, so where's 1.5 here, team? Right, you're up almost 200% in your money off just basic, you know, scalping, and that is why I love SPX. I love it a little more when I get filled, but the fact it still does it is amazing. Karen. But what I was gonna say, guys, on my other screen, I have my option chain up. So I kind of have it, covering one half of my screen like this, so I can flip through, find strikes, etc. And then I also have my internals up, so I keep this grid kind of just on that screen as well. And then, as I mentioned, I have TweetDeck on the side. So my third screen is kind of like I don't really have charts on it, more of like tools. So I have my option chain, my internals, my news, and I also keep Flow Algo up. So just to give you guys a sense of what's on my screen. Yeah, Benji, morning session definitely more focused. It becomes a long day. That's why I do most of my training in the morning. Because it does take mental capacity. Algo, I'm looking forward to it. I'm at that point in my journey where it's time for quant. It's time for algos. Kim, are you looking for the internal chart? Looks like you are, my friend. Let me get that to you. I know it's somewhere, but it takes me half a second to share it. So. And if you open it, guys, and it doesn't show data, make sure you just zoom out and go to, actually where tick and ADD are currently. So team, if you caught that, trick question, why would you lock here? Trick question. Very specific answers, one answer. Let's see if you can get it. Nope, Karen wasn't quite hard, was it? Nope. Well, that is a good answer, but not the answer I'm looking for. ATR, no. All right, just zone here, guys. All right, remember zone to zone to zone to zone. So as soon as we kind of kiss that zone, that's usually where we want to end our trades. Yep, you got it, Ricardo. After I said it, but I'll say you were typing it. Just got an algo bomb. But yeah, guys, again, that's kind of these indicators lead to your zone. So with this trade here that I wish I caught, we hit that 5-minute cloud. Same time we're basing at the 1 minute, trying to get through it. We hold the the 21, and then boom, quick pop. Pull back to the 8, and another quick pop. On that pop, we reach our zone. And that's where you would want to look to lock that trade up. So again, if I got filled there, team, this is looking like a 1-5 to, we obviously won't get filled at the highs here, but, a 3 to 4. And just goes right back down as quick as it goes up because it's the last 30 minutes. But there's, a good example of the system, team. And I'm glad some of you guys caught that. Jim, please do. So again, team, now we're right back another inflection point of 5-minute cloud. See if we slip through it here. Same time, 1-minute cloud. So maybe it bases, it gives us a little pop, but we're pushing our time limit here, team. I will admit I have traded SPX in the last 10 minutes of the day and made a lot of money, but it's not the wisest thing to do every day. AFD, glad to hear that, my friend. Zones take time, but if you study my chart, study these zones, you'll get a sense of it. Like, look at this, guys. It literally just hits one, goes to the other, pops to the other, drops to the other, pops to the other. And now, oddly enough, we'll probably head back down to the other. Remember from the class, team, it's all about ping pong and liquidity. Gerald, it's YOLO time. Size down, one contract, have fun. It's like that last bet at the casino. No, but seriously, guys, if you do take any trades your last 30 minutes, make sure you manage your risk properly. So nice hold at cloud. And you'll see, guys, just that one candle was almost 100% return. Crazy. NVIDIA doing the same thing. We'll see here, team. If we get back above the 8, maybe get one more ramp. You know, we'd also be coming off the 5-minute cloud here. And Q held their 5-minute cloud perfectly. Maybe get one more final push into close. Not going to hold my breath for it, but we'll be ready for it. And at this point, it's, you know, only SPX worth trading, I suppose. But just remember all I've said, team. Size down, play money. Jim. So another final lesson here, guys. The last few minutes, you know, last 10, 20 minutes, if we don't pop hard, you're not going to make money. You know, it can grind higher here, and these are still just going to go down in value. So again, that's why don't force trades here. Protect your capital. You know, go to the bar, go get dinner if you're gonna, you know, just blow a little money. And yeah, Jim, nothing wrong with that, man. If you can't make money, we know with one contract, you're not gonna make money with multiple. So let's see your team. We're still holding that cloud. Again, I don't want to rush into these, but I am open-minded to, you know, one more little trade. All right, it might be right here. These premiums. Jim, I commend you for that. You know, that's the best way to do this. You know, take a small account, make it a cash account, you know, learn the system with one contract. All right, we got 20 minutes here, team. So again, gonna probably be minimal trades. So if you guys do have any final questions, let me know. But we'll keep stocking SPX here into close. Adam, it is good to look at the 5-minute cloud at this point in the day. You know, they're just a little more valid, but it's kind of the same thing where I just always cross reference both. So we're kind of playing with both right now. So they're both valid, in my opinion. Yeah, G, absolutely. We can look at we'll look at this ES zone here today because it's been really, really nice. Man, quite the last 2 hours here, just zone to zone to zone. Internals, guys, kind of not doing much. We're just working our way into close. Uh, 84 million to sell for Muck. All right, that ain't gonna do much. Market not really giving us a tradable opportunity here, team. So again, last 40 minutes, we got to be picky. You know, it looks good, but we can't just get in it and give it time, or these are just going to decay in seconds. Ron, maybe everyone's exhausted by now. Maybe. Looks like the market wants to ramp, but just getting a little resistance here, team. Fish. I'm actually not familiar with the wash rule. I'm looking at it right now. The rule defines a wash sale as one that occurs when the individual sells or trades. Oh, this is tech stuff. Yeesh. I won't comment on that for now, team. So as requested, looks like you guys want to take a look at zones. So we can spend the last few minutes here, and we'll keep a small eye on the market. But I want to talk about this zone here, guys, because you know you have all the training, all the resources you need, but it can always help to kind of look at a zone. You know, why do we have those key levels, and then see them unfold. But let's just wait a little bit longer here. Chris, what's the max size you play on 0D SPX? I asked because I see a couple hundred on each side of the active chart at any moment in time. But I wonder, for example, 100 contracts would be hard to get filled or hard to sell. So that's a good question, my man. You definitely want to be mindful of the strike you're playing. You know, make sure it's very liquid and that you can get filled. And then I would definitely just be cautious about the time that you're playing, because you know if time is against you, they're definitely going to manipulate an order of that size. But most of the time, my friend, you know, you might get filled in two legs, because if you watch option contracts, especially SPX, a lot of the bid and the ask aren't quite 100. You know, they'll be 50 to 80. So I think they'll probably fill you on most, but I would ease into it and just kind of get a sense of, you know, what are they filling, etc. But I don't see a problem with 100 contracts. It just depends the contract itself. Market wants to pop. We're just holding 5-minute cloud, but we can't get going here. Yeah, Chris, the only problem I've had in the past is they don't fill me on all of them. And, you know, that can often just be because the current moment that bid, there wasn't enough. So again, if you're playing with that big of size, just be mindful of when you're looking to enter. But that liquidity is there. They'll fill you. Maybe not all at once, but maybe in two legs. That's a problem I've actually had on toss recently, is they won't fill me on the right amount. But it doesn't happen too often. It just depends the name. Chris, yeah. So if you're talking about buying those cheapies, I'd be careful with a lot of size. You know, if it's cheap and there's a lot in the day, that's different. But you know, end of day here, if you're looking to, you know, size into a cheap one, I would just be hesitant. Because again, you got to understand from a market maker perspective, if they see a big order and they know that, you know, these options are gonna be worthless in 15 minutes, they're not gonna be nice to you. But, you know, if you get a normal fill during the day on a liquid option and you want 100, they'll probably give you 100. SPX is one of the biggest things in the market, so plenty of liquidity. And if you're ever curious, watch time of sales. You'll see some big orders. All right, guys, so down goes Mama Market. Let's take a minute here to talk about this ES zone. Just kind of, look at the key levels that was composed of. All right. So if you guys remember, why this can motivate you is I didn't make these today. We made it at the beginning of the week. This was the same map that we were focused on. And so let's just kind of break it down, team, and, talk about the inflection points that make it. So our top zone here, right, to start the week, we were stuck in that point of control zone. So, we hit the top of last month's point of control. So I always keep last month's until it's no longer valid. And we fell down towards this month's. We kind of just chopped all day for our Monday session. Overnight, what do? We go zone to zone, right back to that prior all-time high. As you might imagine, guys, we don't break this zone. If we did, we would have went here. But instead, if this, then that, we fail and we continue down to the next one. We pop a bit, we continue to downtrend, and we finally break that zone. Any good break usually gets retested. So nice flush, nice pop. All right, guys, remember pattern recognition. So just very basic uptrends. And then boom, look at that inflection point. So that's an amazing trade yesterday. Right? Finally breaks the zone, retest the zone. Understanding what the zone actually is more important, right? We get the magnet effect all the way to it, and then we get the cannon effect, which drops us down to our next key level. So let's just keep moving here. Our next key level, team, was this little high from Thursday, right? We want something, as I mentioned, in between kind of our two major zones here. So we broke that key level, we flushed right to it, and overnight drifted to our level, and then flush to the next one here, team. So this 4105.25, this stems from the daily chart. Right, so that was this wick here, team. Right, that 4105.25. So we had our point of control zone. We were focused on leaving that and headed down to this key zone. And this is actually an interesting one. So let's talk about it. So remember, I like to look at inflection point. It's not always highs and lows of days. So if we look, we had an inflection point from that day, but our next zone was actually comprised of this little wick here. So, we get that big pop during the day, we get that flush, we hold perfectly. And again, ask yourself, what happened after we held? After we held this inflection point, we ran to point of control. Good level. And again, I try to add confluence to key levels. So the reason this is purple is it's also the 50-day moving average, which is a good key level that I focus on. So you can see, guys, it's not quite, but we are sitting right there. So again, as we kind of migrate down, we understand, okay, we're kind of going zone to zone here. We're near the 50. We could start to bounce. So just to keep working on this one. We leave the 50, team. We head to our next key inflection point, which was simply Wednesday's low, zone with that after hours low here from Thursday. And this was the low of our most recent drop. All right, we get that huge drop. We go all the way back to point of control. And now we're right back down to this key zone. So again, let's just take a quick peek at this. Another lesson this morning, team, is the ATR. So like I mentioned, and even though we had a good SPX put trade pulled off, anytime we gap down in ATR, we need to be very careful, especially as we near zones. So ES has an ATR of about 55 points. So from close, this morning, guys, we were down well above an ATR. So as we get that final little flush towards our zone, this was a really nice pop. We went back into our key. All right, so we break it and we hold it. Let's just look at this on an intraday. I guess we try to break into it, we pull back, we finally get in it, and that's what signals the zone to zone. Right to the top of that level we had, back down, zone, zone, zone. So I hope that adds a little more clarity, guys. Any questions, let me know. Heather, when you're drawing zones, how many days will you extend it out for? Heather, that's actually a good question. You want to make sure, guys, you don't extend your zones too far. So if you take a look here, you'll see how all my zones stop right, where we're currently going to be. And there's actually a reason for this, where if I just go like this, team, and I have too much time, so to be really excessive, I want to put it back to 2020. All right, so this zone is just wicked long. The only reason I keep it short, guys, is because when you go to an intraday, I don't know, of course it's not doing it. Hold on. It usually always happens. All right, I guess maybe not anymore. But what happens, guys, is when it's too extended, the zone will actually get really grainy. And I'm obviously, this is a bad example. It's not working right now, but that's why, Heather. So again, I'd love to give a quick example here. Let me just go to a random name. Maybe they fixed that. So in the past, guys, if it was too far, the zone would look horrible. It wouldn't be a gray box. So I've switched it. Look at SPX. Oh, geez. Wow, look at that cloud hold. Anyone catch this? Quick 700% return. But anyway, guys, I hope that helps in the ES zone. I'll just go back to it. Yes, Dylan, great question. Do I always use ATR from the previous day's close? Yep. And in my opinion, guys, that's the only logical way to do it, where if you have a 10-point ATR and you gap up 15 points, that still counts. You can't expect the name to, all right, now we got 10 points in us. That was a freebie from pre-market. No, right? So it's always involved. Lorna, did I miss something? Was there a Fed candle? Talk of potential ceasefire later this week with Israel. Definitely looked like an algo. Yeah, Dylan, it can be sickening. Yeah, it did go up 1,000%, but you just gotta be so fast. But sometimes, guys, that's what happens. Right, that was a 15, almost a 2,000% return if for some reason you actually bought that bottom. But does that make sense, guys? You guys have this chart. The only levels I update are the pre-market levels. So, for example, we had this little pre-market level here today, and now it's completely invalid, right? We just kind of went through it all day. So I'm honestly just going to get rid of it. And that's how, I'll slowly update these charts, guys. But we break one zone, we near another one, we crack through, we head to the top, we drop to the bottom, so on and so on. So remember, guys, you know where these inflection points came from now. So just really start to understand the psychology behind them. And this is what kind of gives you that roadmap. Adam, do you draw them on ES and then copy onto SPX? No. So I actually, guys, I just trade off of the ES chart. So remember, guys, it's the same thing. So, when we hit this key level at, 1,500, top of the hour, right? That's right here, team, where yes, you can go find key levels in SPX like we had, but it's going to be very, very, very close, legit the same. So I mark on ES because that's what I watch all day. And again, you want to play this dip here on SPX, it's going to be the same thing. So I just kind of don't waste my time marking SPX. Algo, I shared multiple charts. Yeah, I most reposted. Those are kind of the ones we had for prep team. So, keep those charts, download them, and see how they work the rest of the week. Do I ever hold SPX overnight? And the only reason I'll do that is if I have, a really big thesis, because most of the time I'm just playing 0 days. So obviously we can't hold these. And wow, did these go up a disgusting amount? So, and the only way I would do that is like the other day when we bled into close and the next day is a 0 day. I might swing a put, but most of the time I just kind of show up and trade SPX. And I don't hold it because I trade on 0 days. So it's just going to expire and settle cash. Wow, what a move here. 3,000% off a 1 minute cloud. You invest $100, guys, make a quick 3 grand. That is truly how the game can be played. So don't be in a rush to size. Don't be in a rush to trade all day. Wait for your pitch, and things like this can happen. I know this is extreme, but technically it's just a 1 minute cloud bounce. And it's just leveraging options. So again, I don't recommend putting a ton of money, but if you put $50 into this trade, guys, you're making a worthwhile amount, in my opinion. And yeah, Ricardo, you can definitely trade the futures. That's something I'm looking into where, ES, NQ, even the micros, they offer really good risk reward where you can, yes, avoid SPX. So I'm not going to speak on that because I haven't done it yet, but it is something I'm looking into. Because, on ES here, guys, this pop was, pretty large, 14 points. I forget the structure and futures, but that's catching a lot per contract. Wow, what a 3,800%. Crazy. All right, team. Looks like we are wrapping up here. So if you guys have any final questions, let me know. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today. Had a blast. Hopefully, learned something and hopefully made a little bit of money. But another good session in the books, team. And gonna spend the last few minutes here, guys, kind of laying out what to expect for tomorrow, because obviously we won't be together tomorrow. And yeah, G, I'll share these ES charts one more time. I think NQ needs a little bit of a refresher. So there's the ES one. Let me just look at NQ real quick. Oh, I didn't put the dash. Like, what's taking so long? Yeah, you can have this chart. This one's still valid. Point of control above, biggest key level below. Nice little pre-market here today. Just make sure you guys do a little update in this one, maybe. But all right, team. So a few things to focus on for tomorrow. Obviously, see where the market opens, zone to zone. But I think the biggest thing that we can focus on for tomorrow, and let me just get large here real quick. And man, these are still going. I can't believe people are buying these right now. 4,400%. Nice. All right, guys. So tomorrow, just 2 quick theses to lay out. So we hit a really big key level today. If we look at the daily chart, it's really all about that 50-day moving average. And as I mentioned, we want to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not cautious, but aware of this daily cloud moving forward, the rest of the day, the rest of the week. Every time this year we have hit that cloud, it's been an amazing dip by team. We rally for weeks straight, right? We hit the cloud, rally for weeks straight. We hit the cloud, we rally for months straight. So on this pullback here, team, we get the 50 MA right here, and we also have the daily cloud, which we're going to have to deal with tomorrow. So this is really the focal point, team, where if we don't break a lower, we're going to start higher lows. So there's two things that could have happened here. Was we make an H and we flush, which today is a nice candle. So now we're actually starting an uptrend. So as long as we hold this uptrend, team, and we hold this daily cloud and we hold this 50-day moving average, I'm looking for a pop back towards that key levels that we dealt with. So remember our drawing set here. That's going to be back towards our point of control zone. Can we get back to POC? Can we push through that other one? And can we head to all-time high? Be very wary if we just get stuck in the middle, but these are really good compasses to focus on the downside and the upside. So let's look at NQ real quick here, and then I'll let you guys go enjoy your evening. So NQ is the same premise, just a little bit, of different indicators where their key is getting back to and through the 50. So while ES held the 50, NQ rejected the 50. So while we hold these lows, we want to see if we can get back to the 50. So that's going to be a target tomorrow, team. And remember, if we look at our zone, we do have point of control slightly above as well. So can we push back to it? And then can we get the cannon back to the 50-day moving average, back up towards this little key zone here? That's really the focal point moving forward, team. And then vice versa on the downside. If we do flush this 12,915, look out below. Focus on these key wicks here, and then working our way towards the 200-day moving average. So hope that makes sense, guys. And Butch, I'm looking at the options. So if you look right here, my friend, I have the 4110 calls loaded. And right here at 1 minute cloud, they were about, 10 cents. And if you look at this tool, you'll see it went up 4,200%. So I'm not talking about SPX itself. I'm talking about the option. Because you're right, SPX popped 19 points. The options went up thousands of percent. That's why I trade options. Adam, I'm using the 50 SMA. But all right, team, I guess that will conclude. If you guys have any final questions, let me know. But it looks like everyone is content. Enjoy tomorrow's session, guys. I'll be in the options room if you need me, and then we'll close it out strong Friday. But again, thanks so much, team. I truly, truly appreciate your time. I hope it's been a great learning experience, and we'll get a little bit better on Friday. Thanks, team. Enjoy your night. Get some rest. We had a long day.